৭৫ বছর ধরে সংঘাতময় পরিস্থিতি বিরাজ করছে ইসরায়েল এবং ফিলিস্তিনের মধ্যে। এই সংঘাত নতুন মোড় পায় গত ৭ অক্টোবর নতুন করে হামলার পুনরুত্থাপন হলে। এ নিয়ে কথা বলতে আজকে আমাদের সঙ্গে উপস্থিত হয়েছেন ঢাকায় নিযুক্ত ফিলিস্তিনের রাষ্ট্রদূত ইউসুফ রমাদান। আমরা তার সঙ্গে আজকে কথা বলবো। এক্সেলেন্সি, ওয়েলকাম টু সোময় টিভি. I would like to know how are you and how is your family?
Given the situation that we are in, it's a mixed feeling of our heart is crying, but at the same time crying for this small children getting killed, slaughtered in Palestine, women getting slaughtered in Palestine. At the same time, we can see the kind of support that we're receiving from the whole world, and that what makes at least our lips smiling. So heart is bleeding and lips are smiling because we are optimistic. And inshallah, the final victory will be the victory for the Palestinian people.
We have seen the international media has been covering this conflict in many ways, probably taking sides. I want to know your perspective. What is the current situation of Palestine and especially in the Gaza Strip?
Well, it is most unfortunate that the Western media, most of the Western media, are not being fair with us, not covering the situation as it is in the ground. There's a lot of fabrication there. They pick and choose. They avoid presenting real photos and images from exactly what's been going on in Gaza. Israel made Gaza hell. Taking under consideration 2.35 million people, they have no access to food, no access to medicine, no access to electricity, no access to internet, and no access to water, drinking water. It must be not only difficult, it is impossible. It is impossible. So I really don't know how can our people able to live in this situation. There must be some help coming from the sky, something, because people like this in the normal cases is impossible for people to live like this. Impossible for people to struggle and to fight and to resist. I have believed that these people have a faith no one has. They have will and determination no one has. That is, I'm sure of. And that is what keep them going. That's how they charge their power, through their faith, determination and strong will. And inshallah, final victory will be for us.
Earlier we have seen differences between Hamas and Fatah group, but this time the Palestinians seem to be univocal. So have you actually mitigated your differences and you are working together?
Look, today, because this war is not between Hamas and Israel, this is what the Western media try to show. Gaza is paying the heaviest price, that's true. But this war is being waged against the Palestinian people. We look at the greater picture, the bigger picture here. The Western media try to show that this is a war between democracy, or as they call themselves, against a terrorist group. But the truth is, it's between an apartheid state with a very powerful army, with the most sophisticated American weapon, most sophisticated intelligent, most sophisticated war machine provided to them, killing man, woman and children equally. They're committing a genocide. So to come and minimize the picture and say it's a war between Hamas and Israel, that is unfair for the Palestinian people. So that's why today all the Palestinian people, left, right, center, Fatah, PFLP, Hamas, Jihad, all of them are united, all of them. We cannot be divided.
From your answer, actually, a question arises in my mind that the Western countries who are vocal about human rights and peace are backing Israel very openly. So why haven't been Palestinians able to draw their attention despite the long sufferings?
The suffering of the Palestinian people was done in front of the cameras. The whole world saw that and witnessed that. So it is not done in hiding. It's not a secret anymore. So what should we tell them? If they have taken a decision to stand behind evil, that is their decision. But they have no right from now on to lecture us about human right. Because human right, it's not for certain people or for certain scholar or for certain religion. It isn't so. It is for every human. As it is applied, like Ukraine, for example, it should be applied on the Palestinian people as well. But when you pick and choose and say this guy deserves human right and the other one doesn't because this one have a blue eyes and blonde hair and that guy has a dark hair and black eyes, doesn't deserve, then you don't come and talk human right. You have no right to do that. This is unfair. But this is all in our favor, believe me, because that is showing exactly how the West think, how the Western media think, how the Western government think, how they address issues. So that when they come and teach us and lecture us about human rights, we should tell them, you're the last to talk about this issue. You're not fit, you're not eligible to talk about something that you do not practice.
From the Western world shifting towards a different part of the world, that is the Arab world. Are you satisfied with the role of Muslim countries and their organizations like OIC and Arab League, or do you think they have much more to do to support the Palestinian people?
Look, we are not going to beg help from anybody. What we're going to do is, we're going to leave it to your conscience, for the Arabs and for the Muslim world. It is your duty today, not only to help the Palestinian people, but stand firmly behind the Palestinian people. Because the Palestinian people are not only defending themselves, but they're defending you. They're defending the dignity of the Muslim world. They're defending the dignity of the Arab world. Today is the Palestinian, tomorrow is their turn. So it is time to stand firmly, strongly. There is many ways you can help the Palestinian. I'm not going to identify. They already know. They already know exactly their duty if they want to do it or not. The killing of children has not stopped. The killing of women has not stopped. We have 50,000 pregnant women due to deliver. How will they deliver since there is no hospital? There is no facilities in hospitals. There is no medicine in hospitals. There is no food. There is no water. There is no electricity. There is no internet. Gaza is being completely, it's been isolated from the rest of the world. What about this 2.35 million people? Aren't they human beings? Well, okay, in the West they're not. But at least among the Muslim nation, among the Muslim country, we are your brothers. Your sisters are dying there. Your children are dying there.
Just to be clear about the Palestinian point of view, is it a conflict between religions or nationality?
The Israeli, the Zionists, they try to make it as a conflict between Muslim and the Jews, and that the Muslim want to kill as much Jews as possible. Well, this is absolutely wrong. According to the Torah, the holy book of the Jewish people, that these people were living in Palestine 4000 BC in this country. And the Jews came and lived with us in Palestine. They were always the minority. They were never the majority. We never had a conflict with them. We always protected them. We always treated them well. We always respected them, respected their religion, respected their belief. And we never had any problem with them until Zionism came and they decided to kick us out and take the country, or the whole country. This is not fair. That's why we fight back. It's not like we love bloodsheds, we love to kill, we love to destroy. We don't. We do not. We're a very peaceful nation. When you put us in a position, we prefer to die than living in misery. We like to be our own master. We don't want to live as a slaves or as a servant for anyone. And that is the issue here. But the Zionists, they try to characterize the situation as this is a battle between the Islam and the Judaism, so they can get the sympathy of the Western world. Look, when they start coming at the early century, 20th century, we used to feel sorry for them. They came from Europe because the European treat them so badly. The European treated them as a servant, as a slaves. They came, they have no clothes. We gave them clothes, we gave them houses, we gave them jobs. We helped them, we feed them. And then they turn the gun, they stab us from the back and they kick us out from our country with the help of the British, mainly the British, and the rest of the European countries, the Western countries. Because the Western country wanted to establish the state of Israel in Palestine. Israel will always be like a cancer in the body of the Arab world. And the Arab world can never be united as long as we have strangers there.
While many other countries are ambiguous about taking a side, Bangladesh has already been standing with the Palestinians and have observed National Mourning Day. So what is your take on that?
I have said this before and I will say it today and I will keep saying in the future. The position of Bangladesh is a very honorable position. I respect that, and the people and the leadership in Palestine, from Gaza, from West Bank, from Jerusalem, from the Palestinian people who are living in diaspora, they all respect and value very much the position of Bangladesh, the people of Bangladesh, the government of Bangladesh, especially the position of Sheikh Hasina. We are very proud of Sheikh Hasina, very proud of her courage, very proud of her firm, principled stand toward the Palestinian cause and the just struggle of the Palestinian people. We want to see more leaders like her in the Muslim world. We wanted to see more leaders like her in the free world. This is a battle between good and evil. This is the battle to prove, does humanity exist? Are we living in a civilized world or are we living in a jungle? Does the right have power or the power has right? This is the question.
Now I want to know a bit about yourself. How many years have you been able to enter to your homeland?
Well, because Israel controls the borders, and if I want to go, I have to go through that borders. So I have to have a permission before. So I've been applying this permission for the last 22 years, and I'm not getting the approval to go. So I wasn't able to go. They don't normally tell you why. They just say no, and that's it. You have no right to ask even why. It doesn't give me honor that I enter my country and through getting permission from the occupying power. It's not. I just wanted to go just to say goodbye to my two uncles because they already passed away. I couldn't be there for their funeral, and I couldn't be there for my aunties also. Or say goodbye to them at least before they die. But today, it should be clear that the Palestinian people, approximately we have 7.5 million people living there. Those are my family. All of them are my family. The children are my children. The female are all my sisters. We all one family now. Not only one people, we are one family. And we act as such. 75 years, we never gave up. From generation to generation to generation. This is the 4th generation. We can never forget at all that we have a right and we have to get our right back in any cost, because freedom has a price to be paid and we are willing to pay the price. But please, save the blood of our children and our women. That is the message to the Western world. Save the blood of those innocent children. During the Second World War, the Jews gained a lot of sympathy from the whole world, from Muslim world as well as the Christian world, after the genocide took place in the Western world by the Nazis. The same thing exactly is happening today to the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are getting more and more support from the world, from the people of the world, and sympathy because of the Zionist genocide against the Palestinian people. And instead of that, they should have learned from their history. They did the opposite. They inflicted the same problem which happened to them on us. Now they're acting exactly as the Nazi acted against them. So they are the new Nazi actually. Definitely they are. Their army are the new Nazi. Their leadership, starting from Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir and Smotrich and all these right-wing hardline people, and all of them actually in general, the majority of them. Now they represent the new Nazi.
My last question to you is that the conflict has been continuing for 75 years. So what do you think is a tangible solution for this crisis to be resolved?
We also fought. Fatah movement started the revolution in 1965. And we used armed struggle. And we fight in everything that we have got, all the power that we had. And then we came to a decision that let's try peaceful means. So Yasser Arafat took a decision and we signed the Oslo Accord with the Israeli so we can have peace together, live side by side as two states. One for them and one for us. Although the concession the Palestinian has made is not fair for us, because we have accepted 22% of our land, historical Palestine, and we gave them 78%. Although we are the majority and they are the minority. They are not satisfied, they want the whole country. And they just want, as a peasant, to grow for them vegetable and just work for them. Otherwise, leave the country. But the people of Palestine will always insist, always. They will never accept less than a state on the occupied territory of 1967, Gaza Strip, West Bank, and East Jerusalem. Those are three places, three areas, which is altogether about 6,000 kilometers only. It's not a huge geographical area. So we can build our state there, we can live in peace, in harmony. That is the solution. We don't want to see troops, we don't want to see occupation. We want dignity, we want honor, we want to prosper by ourselves, we want to have our own factory, we want to have our own schools, we want to have our own universities. We don't want anyone to come and impose what should we teach our children. We don't want somebody to come and impose to us how do we run our economy. Everything we import, we have to get permission from the Israeli before, and Israel has to say yes, so they will allow it in. Otherwise, it could remain in the port for years, get spoiled, and you throw it in the sea. This is the West Bank people, how they live. Gaza Strip, you know, most prominent people in the world, it's the biggest open-air prison, 2.3 million. It's the biggest prison in the world. People with Palestine will rebel, will not accept that at all. We wanted to live peacefully, just like any other nation, just like any other human being. We just ask for not the absolute justice. We ask for possible justice, only possible justice, not the absolute one. And yet, it is not acceptable by the Israeli.
Excellency, thank you for joining with us. It is an indeed pleasure to interview you. দর্শক, এতক্ষণ আমাদের সঙ্গে ছিলেন ঢাকায় নিযুক্ত ফিলিস্তিনের রাষ্ট্রদূত ইউসুফ SY রমাদান। তিনি জানালেন ফিলিস্তিনের নাগরিকরা এখন কিভাবে সেখানে জীবনযাপন করছেন, এবং তিনি আশা করেন যে এই সংঘাতের সমাধান হবে, কিন্তু ফিলিস্তিনের নাগরিকরা তাদের ন্যায্য অধিকার কখনোই ছেড়ে দিবে না। আপনাদের সঙ্গে এতক্ষণ আমি ছিলাম তাজওয়ার মাহমিদ।